Greetings. This video is a video response to Annie on her Tarot Together series here on YouTube. On the latest video she did about the dreaded journaling. This was a question also posed on Facebook on the group page under the same name. So I'm doing here a video response. I find it a little easier than on some subjects than just replying. So I just thought it would be interesting today to show you my tarot, some of my tarot journals, my latest ones anyway. These are my beginning ones, and this is I have something in here I want to show you. I might talk to you about my own style of journaling. I do journal. I'm not as big of a journaler. I don't journal as often, maybe, as Annie does. But I do have what she recommends. I do have these first two journals here. Kind of pretty, huh? Just plain spiral bound notebooks. One is for the major arcana and one is for the minor arcana. I believe in this series of teaching the tarot, I believe she is focusing mainly on the major arcana first. Okay, so I will show you what I have first on that. But I do want to say, before I get any further along in this video, separating the two parts of the tarot deck is pretty important when you go to trying to learn the cards. To try to learn 78 cards at one time is ridiculous. Nobody can do that. But I do not recommend that you try to learn the cards and learn the meaning of the cards and learn to read the cards in the same manner. If you're going to try to learn to read the cards from the beginning, I know some of you are not patient if you are new, and you will not wait until you learn the cards, nor should you, before you attempt to do a reading. Please use the entire deck. Do not try to do a reading just with the major arcana cards. It's not going to give you an accurate reading. That's just not going to happen. There's the reason that there's two parts of it. The major arcana deals with big event matters of life, like relationships, like having children, like your employment, your career, your money, your finances, those kind of things, big ticket items. The minor arcana deals with the everyday stuff of life. Most of our life is made up of the little bitty stuff of life. Yes, there are influences, there are big major influences in there, but it's the little bitty things that also affect the big things, right? So they affect each other. They work together. If you're going to try to do a reading, daily reading, a daily draw, please use all the deck. That would be my recommendation, and just do a 3-card reading, which I will show you in just a few minutes. A good example of how to do that. Okay, but she's absolutely right in the fact that you need to journal. You need to keep something together, some kind of a system that you can fall back on that will help you learn the cards. And this is not important just as a new person, like as a new person, somebody new to the tarot. I started reading cards, back in the 70s, but I did not collect them in a journal until just in recent years that I started journaling or collecting them in this way. And I didn't really think I needed to, because when I was using them, and then I would put them away for years, whatever. But now that I'm older and I do it in a more regular fashion, I do like to have, and I'm very pretty settled into the cards. I like to keep track of things. So I have made, and excuse me, I have to wear my glasses, the same kind of thing that she was talking about, but she does hers on the computer. I do mine in a spiral notebook, and this first one has to do with the major arcana, okay? And I do just like she mentions. Now I put, okay, we'll start out with the Fool, okay? And I'll talk a little bit about the Fool. I will have an image. I have an image on each card that I have affixed to the pages. These are not Rider-Waite images. These are just something that I got off the internet that I liked. It was a little different. I liked that it was not Rider-Waite because I'm very familiar with the Rider-Waite card. I have that image in my brain, in my memory. These are similar images, and it's nice every once in a while to look at something a little different with the same kind of symbols. Most of them include most of the symbols. So I would have the image. I would put in keywords. And then I would talk, just like she says, about the symbols. The symbols are the deal, really. When you're learning the cards, the symbols really are the deal. You look at the symbol, and then it helps you, you think about what each one means. Here I have about the dog, for instance. I have what the dog represents, things that it can represent. Is the dog a companion? Is the dog a warning? The dog can represent loyalty or faithfulness. The dog might be tugging at the owner's ropes to tell them don't fall into the chasm that's below. The dog might just be somebody along the way that the owner is not taking that much attention to and paying that much attention to. Okay, the knapsack. What is the knapsack representing on the shoulder of the Fool? I know we're going to get into these things when we get into the card, but these are the kind of things that I put in my journal. Okay, then I go on and I add. Now remember, I said I have pages. I have, like, here for the Fool, I have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for the Fool. I could have maybe used more, but don't need to be really wordy. But anyway, then at the very end, I added some. At the very end of the last page, I added some notes. Just some reminders, and now as somebody who is a mature reader of the tarot, I go back and I might add notes. Now, I loved Annie's recommendation that she use the filing system. She can have cards, but I really like to have books like this. So what do I do? How do I add? Well, I'm just going to show you what I have here on my desk. You might get a kick out of this. If you people are like me and love office supplies, what do I have here? I've got these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colored pens. So if I want to emphasize something, I want to add a note, you notice that the first time I'm writing just in black ink, so I can add something in red, or I can add something in purple or green, or, to get my attention, to draw my attention to it. Okay, so I've done that in this one, with all the way through. Every card has, 4 or 5 pages, really, of notes, okay? Now, if you're just going to be doing, if you're going to do it like I do and you have it in 2 notebooks, have one for the major, one for the minor, because I don't think one notebook, unless it's a really big notebook, gives you enough room. And then at the end of this book, I have extra pages. So at the end, I work on things like later you're going to work on, I don't think you can see it because it's in pencil. Maybe you can, I'll hold it up. But this is just some different, it says try at the top. So it's different, it's some kind of a spin, a new spin on the Celtic Cross. You're going to learn this. I might as well tell you right now. Everybody learns the Celtic Cross spread. It's a really good spread, but everybody modifies it in some way. And you're going to modify it in a lot of different ways. You'll have an abbreviated form. You'll have an expanded form. You'll change it around. You'll move it around. You'll call the card something quite different. And that's what you should do. That's really what you should do. You should make it your own. That's perfectly fine. So anyway, I have the little pages here that I wanted to try at one time, this kind of spread, and how I was going to modify it. So that's what I do with the pages in the back. I will also use pages in the back for notes about other decks, notes about other decks that I might want to include in this. So anyway, that is the major arcana. In the minor arcana, I have done the same. Okay, but I've also included things in the minor arcana about the different suits, the pentacles. I have general information about the pentacles, general information about swords, cups, and wands, okay? So then I take each one the same way. I go in here and here's my image. Here we have the Ace of Cups. So I talk about aces first, what it means to be an ace. And then I talk about what it means specifically to be the Ace of Cups. Okay, and then I have what it talks about to be the Ace of Wands. And I have images, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in the next page, and finally, the Ace of Swords. And I have all kinds of notes on those, okay? So again, the same kind of things. I talk about what are the symbols in the cards? What is happening in the card? Okay, so I go all the way up through 1 to 10, 11, 9, 10. Okay, and then I get to the court cards. Court cards I treat just about the same way. I treat it just about the same way. But the difference when I get to the court cards often represent people, so I might identify people. We'll talk about that. I know Annie's going to talk about that when she gets into those. But that's a really helpful, very helpful tip when you're trying to learn them. If you can look at the qualities of the court card, try to see that in the card, and then who does that remind you of? It's a real good way to learn it. But anyway, that is what I do with my general journey. So these I can keep with me all the time. See, I can just carry this around. Of course, Annie can carry around her computer, or you can carry around the card file that she mentioned. Whatever works for you, whatever you do, and you should keep adding it all the time. Okay. Now, getting back to something a little more specific for me is why I journal at all. Do I journal beyond this? Yes, I absolutely do. And that's where this book comes in and others. But this is one I got out for you to show. I use these, composition books. This happened to be sort of a fancy one. But I like the composition books. And this is what I use for my draws. Okay? And these really go hand in hand because this book actually dates back to 2013. But I brought it out for a reason because I want to show you how I do it. And I was doing, as I did a draw, I would have the 3 cards. And how I did it was, yes, I used reversals as well. But when I put reversals in here I put, on this day, February 12th, 2013, I drew the King of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. And both of these cards were reversed, so I put them in parentheses. And then I put, you can refer back to here if you don't know. Refer back to here, find maybe a meaning. Here I saw that there was a new beginning. There's a new plan or project on the horizon. It's still in the early stages. Again, the timing that Annie was talking about. Anyway, the ones that are inversed, I have it marked here with brackets again. And then I put in colored words, keywords, okay. The reason I use this book, I don't do it every day. I do not journal every day my 3-card draw. I might take a draw. But the reason when I journal them is, if I am having some difficulties, I am in a cloud. I don't know what's going on in my life, okay? Okay, we all know to journal. We all know to draw the cards to try to help us see, but I will write those down. Like if I'm having a difficult time, like, oh, why am I having so many problems? Why am I having so many problems? I just can't see how to fix this, or I can't see what the problem is. I will take a 3-card draw every day for maybe 5 days, okay? And I will put those in the book, okay? Here I did, February 12th, February 13th, February 14th, you see, I did it daily to try to see what it was that was going on with me. And then you're going to start to see patterns. You're going to start to see patterns. Just in these 3 days, I'm seeing all kinds of swords come out. I'm seeing all kinds of, this one day I had 3 cards that were all, the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Swords. Here was the King of Swords, okay? I started to see patterns. I started to see, when I started to put down my keywords, I started to see, I had so many things that were referring back to the same kind of subject, right? It sort of helped me see what was going on. You're not going to remember from day to day. Like if I did 5 days of 3-card draws, by Thursday or Friday, I'm not sure I would remember what I drew on Monday or Tuesday. And I think it's relevant because this is not time. This is not this instant. We're talking about time. Even when we're talking in the present time, we're still very, very influenced by what happened yesterday. The influences that are coming at us tomorrow, they're very much a part of today, which is, why so many 3-card draws. A lot of them even call it your immediate past, your present, and your immediate future because they know those 3 cards really go together in one set. I don't really call mine past, present, and future. I just look at them at 3 when I do this kind of a draw. 3 cards. And see, do I see any kind of a pattern here? Do I see, what's interesting about these 2 cards? And also helps you when you want to look and see which one of your keywords or which group of keywords or category perhaps maybe is where any is going. Do we want to apply to these cards at this given time? You look and see how the cards are relating to each other. That's really helpful. The other way I do it is, I think I mentioned before, really quickly, when I was talking about trying to figure out why I dream. I'm a very lucid dreamer, and my dreams usually mean something to me. They're usually very meaningful to me in a way or not. And I was having I was like stuck in these really awful, these dreams were driving me pretty bonkers, right? And at the same time, I started to journal about my, this was May of that same year, 2013. And I started to try to journal my dream at the same time and with my tarot journal, okay? And it was 2013, and I don't think I have to. Probably if you know me by now, I'm a little nuts. So I'm going to sort of tell you my dream, what I wrote in here, so you can see how I did it. Okay. I have the 3 cards that I drew, which that day were the Magician, which was reversed, the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 7 of Pentacles, okay? And then I put in here my note about my dream. I had a dream last night that I was given another impossible task to accomplish, and no one was available to help me. I was in a kitchen, apparently an unfamiliar event kitchen, and was to make chicken pasties. I'm a feast cook, a medieval feast cook. Aside. That's a hobby. Okay. And I had brought something to contribute that was promised, but everyone else, and I named their names, not sure who else, dropped their stuff off to leave for other commitments. I had other commitments but could not get anyone to hear. I was stuck there to do it all by myself. Whoever had promised the dish wanted a very elaborate version of the Jamaica chicken pasty that I had seen earlier on the chew, with a carved bread figure atop the crescent pasty. Did that come from me viewing Crescent Moon Goddesses online, which I had been shopping for. No one, especially me, had any idea how to create the dish. Anyway, they all abandoned me to do it alone. I kept trying, and apparently I was trying methods they had suggested, even though I was convinced they would not work. I was panicked. I was frustrated that I would not finish, that they would not be good, that it wasn't even my job to do. But I kept at it. I would not give up. Just like I refuse to give up when I cannot. Okay, and this is where I started to think as I'm journaling, just like I refuse to give up when I cannot pass a computer game level. I'm not enjoying it. It wasn't my choice to do. I'm resentful, but I do it nonetheless because I know that if I succeed, others will return and they will receive the credit. So I was having a pretty bitter time here in 2013. I'm unable or unwilling to speak up. I repeat old patterns. I am disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed with other people. Then it starts to click in. This spread I'm looking at in front of me, this Magician reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed, 7 of Pentacles. is giving me the same message I was receiving in the dreams that I have been having. Have I been receiving the same messages over and over and over again since February? And this way I can look back and see what I had been seeing, okay? I'm looking at my spread, and now I'm journaling in my, this part is where I journal my cards. And I say, I know I have mastery and control. In other words, the imagination and inherent gifts required to promote myself and develop my full potential. But am I using the gifts? This magician card, am I using it? Am I using my potential? They're all in front of me. Was I using it? If I'm patient, diligent, hardworking, I will make slow but steady progress. Am I experiencing setbacks in my progress? Is someone holding me back, or am I holding myself back? Okay? I cannot afford to rest on past accomplishments. Remain persistent and focused. Patient and commitment are necessary. This is the message that I received from my cards, along with the message I received from my dreams. That's what I like to journal about. I like to tie it in because we don't have these separate little cubicles in our life. You know, some of us do. I don't. My life is over. You know, it's out in front of me everywhere I look. The relationships I have outside the home, the relationships I have in my dreams, the tarot cards are going to tell me what those are trying to tell me, and that's what I use my journaling for. Anyway, I went a little fast. I didn't mean to go a little over and over. I just thought I might share some practical suggestions for journaling, and to encourage everybody to keep up your studies. Do not get discouraged with the job of the cards, because you can always look back. You can always look back in here and see. You know, you make a little spread, make your 3-card spread, and then look at the 3 cards. Go back in the journal. Oh, and the other thing I just wanted to mention, this is perfect for the you know, when you're getting ready to study these cards one by one with Annie, you know, make yourself a page for each card and leave room. And then whatever you want to, your book is ready for you. And that way also, if you do the 3-card spreads and you have a card that you want to jump ahead, you know, and put them in your journal, you can write the meanings on that page in your journal. The page is already ready for you. You just go like, oh, I got a 6 of Swords. So you go and find the 6 of Swords page and write down what you know so far. And then later when you get to it from Annie, or however you study it, you'll have room to add more. So that's just a suggestion from me. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. You never stop learning with the tarot. It constantly is evolving. So I'm really looking forward to it. And thanks for listening to my little suggestion here. And I look forward to seeing yours too. I send you blessings.